Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Victory Talk. It's your girl Key and
Lady J in the house.
yes, happy Friday, everybody. Yes, it is Friday. Y'all already know it is First Friday, so it is time for Hot Topics. So we have two exciting guests with us tonight. We want to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. If you want to just say your name, if you want to say a little bit about yourself, you are more than welcome. So you have the floor first, Miss Victoria.
Okay, hello. My name is Victoria Green, and I am a mom, a nana, and a woman of God.
All right, short, sweet, and to the point. I love it. All right, Miss Harriet, you up next.
My name is Harriet Elaine Brown Stevens, and I am just so overjoyed. I feel like someone's going to get really blessed. They're going to get a breakthrough. They're going to get delivered. They're going to feel joy because the joy that we have, we feel, is from the Lord. And I'm excited, so I'm going to cut it off. I love everybody. I'm a grandma. I'm a mama. I'm a sister. I'm all that. I'm there for you because you're my people.
I know that's right. Y'all all that in a bag of chips or whatever it is that you want to say. You want some fruit, all that in a bag of strawberries, okay? So we are excited to have y'all in the house tonight. Y'all already know Hot Topics is my baby. I just get so excited. It's just time for us to sit back, kick back, relax, talk about some heavy stuff, some not so heavy stuff, some fun stuff, and all of that. So we are going to jump right in there. Oh, but first, before we get started, I forgot. Make sure that you call somebody, text somebody, tweet somebody, send a carrier pigeon out the window. I don't know, it's kind of dark, so that might not work so well right now in this fall weather. But let somebody know that Victory Talk is on.
Yeah.
So our first topic for tonight that we want to talk about, it's a little bit of a heavy one. And as y'all know, we don't really intentionally do this, I don't think, but we kind of start off with the heavier, deep stuff, make you think a little bit, things that make you say, and just ponder on. And then we get to the more lighthearted stuff there in the middle and towards the end. So the title of our first topic is Parents Are Upset After Black Students at a Florida high school were suspended for fighting another student who sent them a racist video. So parents of these kids at a Florida high school are infuriated after they say their children were suspended for getting into an altercation with a white student who sent them a resurfaced video of two white boys making racist remarks. But the students in the actual video were not disciplined. So in the video, you could hear someone say, "Hold on, you see that?" Before pointing directly at the camera and stating it's a N-word. One of the boys in the video was spotted wearing a KKK-like hood. So the clip was said to have been made over the summertime, but it was just recently shared. The clip was sent via Snapchat to several Black students, two of whom play football for the school. So in the end, only the Black students and the person who sent out the clip were suspended for 5 days. So a parent who asked to remain anonymous told the news station that the Black students were defending themselves after being bullied and targeted because of their race. The parents are saying it's disgusting. The fact that the kids made this vile, nasty, distasteful video and they're still allowed to walk around campus while you have the kids who confronted them sitting at home is 2/3 of the problem, they're saying. So players on the football team had intended to skip the game the next week or take a kneel as an act of dissent, but the school administration warned them that taking that route would result in them forfeiting the remainder of the season. So instead, they decided to carry white jerseys onto the field in honor of their two teammates who were suspended. All right, so I know that was a lot to listen to and to take in, but our first question about that is, what are your thoughts on this? Did the punishment fit the crime? And does the fact that the students who made the video, the fact that they received no punishment, does that make it worse? And anybody can jump on in there.
You know I'm heated. I'm heated. I'm yes, you know what?
them not being punished makes it worse. And then school administration, I understand that they're trying to, keep a lid on it and not let it get out of control. However, you're not going to do anything to them.
Yeah.
You're just, and so I feel as though that they're making it worse by not reprimanding them. And there should be some consequences and repercussions for what they have done. And it's situations like this, I feel like it's situations like this that allow others to follow in their footsteps and to do, because nothing happened to them.
Right.
So that's my 2 cents on that. At the moment, I might have something else.
What y'all got, ladies?
Other lights. Okay, that's good. This is how I feel. As a Christian woman and servant of God, some would say turn the other cheek. This is not one of those times. And you turn the other cheek when it's your brother. Then these children were not acting like brothers. On the other part, someone needs to call the parents of these children, if it was mine, need to call a solemn assembly, get some posters from the dollar store and write what they need to write and say what they need to say, and just walk when they go back to school or at the game, just hold them up. Draw attention to this. That's the problem. We'll talk about it, but we won't do something that will make a change. These children need to get a grip. They got beat up, right? They fought them, they got beat up, right?
Yeah.
Right, Reverend Noble, they got beat up? Well, they got us, the kids that did this. Didn't they fight them?
I'm clutching my pearls. She said, Reverend. Yes,
sorry,
ma'am.
Ro.
No, don't apologize. It's okay.
But didn't they get beat up?
Yes, they did.
Well, they got an education, and that's what you go to school for, to get an education.
She said they got an education.
She said they learned, they got learned.
They gotta learn.
You got anything, Miss Victoria?
I think that although the violence was probably not the right way to handle it, the fact that the school did nothing just really added fuel to the fire. I mean, like Reverend Jackie said, it gives others the idea that they can do anything that they want to do when there are no repercussions. The gentleman, I guess it was, that actually got into the altercation, that did the fighting or whatever, I kind of understand why they were reprimanded, because people can kind of unfortunately say what they want to say and act the way that they want to act, but the law states that you just can't put your hands on other people. But I can understand the frustration behind it, and the parents of any of the black, white, whatever color they were, the parents of these children that were offended should certainly get on the school, write their letters, do whatever that they need to do, because they're paying tuition for their children to go there. You're paying people's salaries, so that's
right.
And I totally, agree with everything that was said by you guys. And I do believe that the fact that this, because all right, y'all already know we real transparent around here. We keep it real. We are able to speak freely. And I'm going to say, it really bothers me. I'm trying to figure out so I get the fact that the kids were fighting, and I get the fact that the kids shared the video. But what type of message are we sending by not disciplining the kids who are actually saying the things in the video? Because in my mind, the school administration is putting out a message there that, we're going to punish the people who got into a fight and who shared it, but you're in trouble for sharing it. And you're in trouble for fighting, but it's okay that they said these things, and even if they're not saying that, that's the message that they're portraying by these kids being able to walk around with no punishment. Like, I would be in an uproar myself. Like, yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's tough.
Tia said, hey, Tia Parker, hey, girly.
Mhm.
Hey,
She
Tia
said,
boo.
if nobody is corrected for treating us wrong, anybody will feel free to continue to do so. It's not
Absolutely.
1935 or 1825. America needs to repent, period, for their treatment of Africans and the descendants of Africans. That's a whole mouthful right there, sis.
Woo!
That's some
Yes.
facts. That's some facts. Yes. And it's just,
Absolutely.
I don't know, you would think that in 2021, we would not still be dealing with stuff like this and, you know, issues like this, but it's just as real and just as alive as it was years ago. It just really is. And you know, the previous administration made it okay.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
they made it okay that it was acceptable for you know to do these types of things and not have any repercussions. Because listen, when it's high up in the government, you know what I'm saying, and they're not doing anything about
Yeah, it says it's okay. It sends a message.
Right.
Right.
Yes,
But they hide behind the freedom of speech, whole freedom of speech thing.
yeah.
That's what they're hiding behind.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
that
so
doesn't
it-
make
it-
what they're saying, what they're doing right.
Yeah.
And so it is my hopes that, when all is said and done, because like Tia was saying, we have to speak out. And I can appreciate the fact that these parents are, people are tired, and this should no longer, like, how long do you just say, oh, that's the way that somebody is, and oh, it's okay. And no, it's not okay. And so, I'm proud of these parents, and I'm hoping that whatever it is that they do, they do in decency and in order to be able to bring awareness, because clearly these racial sensitivity, whatever they're calling these courses that they make these people take after they say the N-word, and then want to keep their jobs or whatever, they're making them take these sensitivity courses. Like, clearly they're not getting the memo. Something is missing. So
They need a paddle. They need a paddle on them. They need the old school rules.
Sister Harriet said,
And see, we don't sometimes want to accept the fact that it's 2021, but we are dealing with the great grandchildren of Mr. Jim Crow. And Jim Crow were those rules that put Black people in their so-called place. It's the rules that said there was a white fountain and there was a black fountain, and it's the same water.
Yeah.
We're dealing with Jim Crow.
Yeah.
And his great grandchildren.
And his great grandchildren. One other thing that I wanted to share before I go into the next topic, because it kind of does lead in, but I feel as though that the individuals that were fighting, I know that it was frustrating. I know that when you're in the heat of it, you don't think, you just kind of snap. But I feel like we also have to, we have to be cognizant of our actions, because, realizing in today's society, whether you're right or you're wrong, you swing, there's consequences and repercussions that's coming in your direction, whether or not you're right or you're wrong.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I think that, and it's one of the things that we have to be intentional in sharing with our children, because a lot of times our children, they snap. They snap.
I was about to say, listen, yes.
And so whether they're right or they're wrong, they have to deal with it. And so we have to teach our children how to navigate these waters in a different way.
Yes, we have to teach them some skills, like boxing skills of self-defense. We have to also teach them some martial arts of self-defense. That's my amendment to the Constitution. Do not be putting I think when you put your mouth on someone and it's not true, what do they call it? Slander.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you write something and do something and you use electronics and newspaper or magazine, it's called libel. These
Mhm.
people need to get them a good civil rights lawyer
Mhm.
and go to work. Get that lawyer. And sometime, although it may not come out the way you want, it will be on record that
Yeah.
somebody took you to court for something you said. And your next employer or employer that you will have when you become a grown adult person, will follow you for the rest of
Yeah.
your life.
And that's that trust and believe. And I don't want to
action.
go too far because we got some other stuff to talk about, but
I'm
it
hot.
will come back around. We're seeing it every single day. These
Yeah.
politicians and these people, you know, once you get out there in the limelight, don't think that people have forgotten what you
That's
have done
right.
in your yesteryears because
Mhm.
they pull up them receipts, honey, and
Yes.
you're in some big trouble. So you
Yeah.
might
Yes.
want to think twice about what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But wait a minute, I gotta run back up to Harriet, because Harriet gonna say, teach them some boxing,
And some martial.
Some martial arts.
And look, Shay gonna say, wait a minute, where's Shay at? Shay say, that's right, Harriet, spank that tail.
And because if you're gonna get in trouble, if you're gonna get in trouble for doing something physical and you doing it as almost a knee-jerk reaction because it caused you so much pain, guess what? Make it work for you.
Oh
Don't
my
be going in there
gosh.
all timid. Don't be going there all timid.
Don't.
The people are saying this stuff. Let me stop. I'm gonna get this paper plate and I'm gonna fan myself gently because I'm feeling it.
All right, y'all, let's go. This kind of leads us into our next topic. Wow. So let's talk about California. California becomes the first state to require ethnic studies for high school graduation. After more than 5 years of intense scrutiny and effort, California has now become the first state to make ethnic studies a required class for high school graduation to help students of all nationalities, to help students understand the past and the present struggles and contributions of Black, Asian, Latino, Native, Indigenous Americans, and other groups that have experienced racism and marginalization. I got it. In America. America is shaped by our history. It's shared by our history. Much of it painful and etched with woeful injustice. The governor said in his signing statement, students must understand our nation's full history if we expect them to one day build a more just society. Under the law, students in the class of 2030 who will start high school in the fall of 2026 must pass at least one single semester course. And by the fall of 2025, all public high schools will have to offer such a class. Requiring ethnic students in high schools is an integral part of the cultivating a classroom environment that is accepting of diversity. The joint statement said. So my question is, what do you think about this? Is it a good or bad, or is it fair to students who would otherwise choose not to take such a class? Do you feel as though that they should be required, as part of their curriculum to be able to graduate from high school to take such a class? What do you guys think?
I think that it's really a good idea because racism is a learned behavior.
Yes.
Babies are not born racist. So if you teach them to be racist, then why not have somebody teach them to set the record straight and to show them the way that they should, be interacting with different nationalities.
Good point.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you cooled down, yes, sis. You ready to come back?
Yeah, I'm good.
They said they need to rewrite the correct history. And I kind of agree with, some of that, Shay. Yes, they do need to write history the correct way, what really happened. And
Yes.
so that has a lot to do with it. But and so in saying that, are they gonna teach the correct history? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you know what they have brought into law, what they're saying is the requirement now, but are you gonna put it, what's gonna be put in the books and what's gonna be put before them? Is it going to be what's real?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that course, what was the name of the course again? What was it called? That they have to take?
It's called ethnic studies.
First of all, the name of the course needs to be changed from ethnic studies to American history 101. Because all of this is stuff that happened in America while we were becoming a nation, while we were learning laws. We adopted a lot of our stuff from the British, because we were first under British, the country was under British rule.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we should start it even on an earlier level, because by the time kids get into high school, they already have these preconceived notions of what Black is, or what white is, or Asian is, or indigenous people, or Native. They already have those ideas.
Yeah.
So the earlier you can do it, whether you can do it as a fair in the school, it's ways to do it on a softer note. But those kids will go home learning, and they will ask their parents, "We did that? American people what was that?" And then it gets the parent, and a lot of this has to do with the parents, because like Sister Victoria said, it did not, let the parents, they're the ones to teach the children that it's okay to be disrespectful. It's okay to call an adult out their name. It's okay to look at that person and say, "Oh, that person is nasty. That person is the Black," or that person, "Oh, they're Puerto Rican." So it's a lot of what the parents, the adults, and charity begins at home. So parents, it's our duty. Absolutely. And it shouldn't be no elective course either. No elective course. You weren't elective to be born in America. You were born here. So whatever, if you born here, you're going to get it all.
That's why I agree with you. And I really like the fact that it is, going to be mandatory.
Yes.
Certain things should not be optional. I hadn't even thought about that. The fact of what they're even calling it. You hit the nail on the head, I think, with that, because calling it ethnic studies still feels like, even though it's being taught, it's still separate and set apart.
That's what I mean.
Everything else. I had not even thought about that, but I completely agree with it being taught. And maybe, just maybe, since it is, like Miss Victoria was saying, a learned behavior, maybe the children who are getting, pulled up or called up on these things, maybe the parents need to come and sit in the class too. How about that? And make sure that they bring their notepad and something to write with, and no refreshments.
Child, we have lost them. No refreshments.
That's right.
But but keep in mind, it's mandatory. So
yes.
Because back in the day, and I vaguely remember this. Back in the day, if your child didn't go to school and was truant, didn't the parents get in trouble for the truant child?
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. And so I feel as though, I wholeheartedly agree. Parents should be held accountable too.
And then you need a handbook. The parents should have a handbook to go along with, because they may not be able to really.
They're not going to read the handbook.
Well, they want that certificate. Maybe they give them a certificate. I don't know.
They gonna read the handbook, because I'm giving a quiz.
That's right. That's right, Ms. Noble.
And I think it should be a two-part. In order for your child to graduate and to get what the child needs to, to elevate to the next level, then perhaps the parents need to have requirements that they have to fulfill in order for that child to be able to move on. And I know that it's a lot, saying that, you know, add something onto a parent's plate when a parent don't work and the parent got
Yeah.
food on the table and the parent got to do this and the parent got to do that. But in doing and saying all of that, if you allowing your child,
Yes,
Absolutely.
That part.
if you teaching your child that negativity, or you are allowing him to, you know, to take it in from other sources and, you know, to run with it and to cause confusion and disruption within, you know, this is in society, whether it's in school, on the ball field, in the mall, whatever it is, you are allowing your child to just be disruptive, then you should bear some responsibility of it too. So
Absolutely.
yes, Lisa, no refreshments.
No refreshments.
no refreshment.
And I'm gonna make it plain and clear. When I send the letter, it's gonna say that on there. So don't ask me for nothing. All right, y'all. So we're gonna roll into a little bit of a lighter topic. So we're gonna talk about the grocery stores, because I don't know about y'all, but a sister is frustrated. Okay, the grocery store shelves aren't going back to normal this year. So many of the country's biggest food markets are telling grocers that they will have limited quantities of a number of their products, including things like Rice Krispie treats, Sour Patch Kids, some Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavors. They really hurting somebody with that. McCormick Gourmet Spices, Marie Callender's Pot Pies, because of labor. Listen, some of these things on this list, I don't know. Because of labor, commodity, and transportation constraints that are throwing supply chains off, according to emails viewed by CNN and interviews with grocers. So shortages at grocery stores are nowhere near as visible as they were at the beginning of the pandemic, when shoppers flocked to the stores doing this ridiculous stockpiling like they was about to drop a bomb on us or something. But supply in grocery store aisles has not fully recovered to pre-pandemic levels. After all this time, they still have not recovered. And companies such as Costco and Sam's Club have recently reinstated purchase limits, I found out the other day when I went to get toilet paper, on paper products and cleaning supplies. So our question is, have you found this to be an issue when you've been grocery shopping, and how are you working around it?
Well, my sister, one of my sisters that live in South Carolina, Beaufort, and she said she went into her, you know, something they have stuff in the thrift shops. They'll have extra something, and it was 2 shopping carts, right, with toilet paper. That toilet paper, I think it was like 8 in the case, in the pack, and they had the sign on the toilet paper, but it was 2 shopping carts. Do you know this lady? She said. It was a Caucasian lady, and then it was 2 African American ladies, and they went to get one, and she said, "No, these are mine." And she said, and the lady said, "But wait a minute, there's a sign there that says they had them for $1." And she said, "These are mine." And she took the sign off and started pushing the cart to the front. So my sister said, "Excuse me, I have a manager." She said, "I want some of these for my family. Can I have some?" I saw a sign that was taken off, and she got her, I think, 2, you know, of the packages. But this lady, one lady, was pushing 2 carts, and she had took the whole supply that was meant for everyone else to share. And some people are selfish, and I've seen people of color do it too. But some people are so selfish, and you know what it is? It's fear, and they're so afraid that stuff. You see them sometimes, they got shopping carts full of like certain canned goods or certain things. And you're like, what? Are you having a storm? Fear. A lot of it is fear. And I hope it don't happen to me. Lord, don't let it happen to me. Amen.
Yeah. Shay said groceries are like paying rent.
They have definitely increased in price.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, because the article didn't even say anything about these ridiculous prices. Oh my gosh.
The prices of stuff has gone skyrocket. It's I mean, I know it's due to like, different shortages and, the fuel shortage and, I get all of that, but my goodness. And do you think for 1 minute that when things do level out that the prices are going to go back?
Nope.
Oh, no.
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 No,
Wow.
not at all. And
No.
so I don't know. I can honestly say this. It has truly made me take some or help contributed to me taking some other stuff out of my diet. Out of, I'm just, it's off the menu. Hey, you don't
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah, I do eat a lot of beans. We eat a lot of beans in our house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the bean thing, and I make burgers out of the beans and all kinds of stuff. But it do make you rethink. It does. You're right.
Yes, it does. It really does.
And Shay said Sam's Club ran out of chickpeas.
Oh my word.
And I'm like, that's really odd because listening to the brand names of stuff that they're saying, there's a shortage of. I know I've been trying to find, the Capri Sun juice boxes, and I only use certain ones because ever since the closed pouch with the mold situation, I only buy those because they have like the see-through bottom.
Right.
They are like, I'm telling, I found some in the grocery store the other day, the little mom and pop store Gershbecks. I found some in there. They were almost double the price. So I was like, oh, well, I guess y'all gonna be drinking more water or something because
Back in the day when we had trips and mommy couldn't really afford to get all the stuff, the hero sandwich and to get the juice and the little Hostess cake. She would get the hero sandwich. She made the cookie, and we had a plastic like mayonnaise jar. She would make lemonade. She would make iced tea or Kool-Aid, and I was good. And everybody was looking at me like they wanted some, and they had their canned sodas. So it's gonna make us go back to a healthier, more holistic way. Yeah. It is gonna do that. Yeah, it is gonna do that. Definitely, it is gonna do that.
Shay said, "Who eats chickpeas besides me? Meat is so high, no ribs." No ribs, nothing, Phil. She said,
but you know what? If I had not quit meat already a couple years ago, this would be it, like you said, sis, because even the chicken, that even people who don't eat red meat, the chicken and turkey is high.
It's high.
I don't know what Thanksgiving is going to look like for some folks because they going to have to go out on somebody's farm and shoot one themselves or something.
Listen, if they do that, they might get shot themselves and find themselves on somebody's table.
Oh, gosh.
I ain't eating nothing that I looked at.
What's that now? I'm
not eating anything that looked at me. If I looked in his eyes, no thanks.
Lisa said, I think it's a government plot. When you I don't know, Lisa, feed the economy with when you feed the economy with so much money and you have to pull the money back out again, we don't have the gold to back the money we produce for all the stimulus money. And people were saving the stimulus money instead. Oh, wait a minute, I can't.
Yeah, they got real attitudes about that.
Yeah.
Yes. That's deep.
Yeah, because they said they put it, all of that stuff is regulated and there's a bigger plan for it. They put the stuff out, they put the stimulus money wanting people to spend it. Mm-hmm. So then, Walmart and all of a sudden all the TVs are on sale and the computers and phones and they knew what they were doing trying to set people up.
How about put the money, put that stimulus money where you really need it, like in your groceries. You know what I'm saying? In your gas tank,
your mortgage, your rent,
your roof, over your head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take it. Y'all don't need them TVs and all that foolishness.
And that's the crazy part about it. Like people were buying stuff just because they had that extra money. Like, how many TVs do you need? You can only watch one at a time.
Right.
It's foolish.
Real foolish. All right, y'all. On to our next topic. Two Pennsylvania police officers were fired for submitting for submitting fake COVID-19 vaccination cards to their department. Two Pennsylvania police officers were fired after they turned in fake COVID-19 vaccination cards to their department. For real? This don't make no sense. One of the officers obtained a blank vaccine card from a family member, made a copy of it, and sold it to another officer for $20. Lancaster's Online, Dan Neffen reported. Lancaster Online obtained records of the incident through a public records request. The city of Lancaster is not requiring employees to be vaccinated. Lancaster Online reported, although vaccinated individuals are permitted to forego wearing masks in public buildings if they are fully vaccinated. According to the statement from the police bureau, the officers were fired for violating required standards of conduct, for conduct unbecoming an officer, and for conduct suggesting they are unfit for service as police officers. So my question is, do you think that these officers should have been terminated, and should they face criminal charges? Why or why not?
Listen, before any of y'all comment, and I'm gonna let y'all finish, but I'm not saying it's right, but I understand. Okay, now y'all go ahead.
Okay, no. What you understand? Please talk to me.
What you understand?
Yeah, talk to me, because I want to
listen, because
thing.
we had this discussion, in the workplace, and we were talking about how it's just not right so by the grace of God, it has not been, mandated for us to have to get it at my job. But we were talking about the fact that, they're having all of these shortages, and, the airlines are all messed up, and all of these things are, the hospital workers are walking out. Everybody's, quitting their jobs and stuff. And I was talking with Miss Victoria about that the other day. And so I'm really teasing y'all. I know it's not right to lie, especially, I guess, because they're officers and they take this oath and they're held to a higher standard is an issue. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about the conversation that my coworker and I had was that you're saying that people have a choice, but really they kind of don't. Because if you're telling them that they have to get the vaccine or not have a job, people, it's under duress. You're really forcing people, in my opinion, to do it. And so, and that's why I was teasing, saying I'm not saying it's right, but I understand, because go ahead, Miss Harriet.
Okay, but what it is, a lot of us, because I didn't know this, but I have sisters and brothers that explain stuff to me. When it's a pandemic, it's the government has the authority to implement certain things because of that emergency situation. But when you start giving people, letting it be like a choice, that's when it becomes a problem. But when you think about it, sometimes when you give your children, my son told me one time when I was dealing with my grandchildren, he said, you are giving them you giving them opportunities when you should be giving them instructions. And whenever you give somebody the opportunity to say or do what they want, they're going to say or do what they feel is best for them. But if you're the person that's in charge, or the person that's the elder, you have to do what you feel is right, even though sometimes it look messed up, even, with our parenting sometimes. But we are the elder. They're not supposed to be telling us, oh, I'm not doing that. I've had someone to tell me I'm not doing that. I said, get up and go look outside that door. Tell me the numbers that you see, because you got to be confused.
That's right. And
I want to hear from Miss Victoria on this one. What you got to say, man?
I'm like,
I just feel like to force someone to do something, whether you agree with it or not, or whatever. This is America, and God gives us free will. And who is the government to take that free will away? If I feel like I don't want to be vaccinated or whatever the case is, whatever it may be, then why should I be forced to do that? It could be religious reasons. It could be for health reasons. It could be because I really don't want to. And it would be a difference, truly, I think, to a lot of people if you are vaccinated and you're not going to get COVID and you're not going to get sick. But the vaccinated people are still getting COVID. They're still getting sick. They're still dying. So, I mean, really, what's the point? If I don't want this foreign entity in my body that you've only tested for 10 minutes, cancer's been around forever, AIDS has been around forever. You would tell me COVID pops up and all of a sudden in 6 months you have a cure or you have a vaccine, and not so much. So that's kind of my take on it. I don't think that individuals should be, now when it's a parent, mother situation, I understand it because you're going to always do what's best for your child. But we as lay people, don't know what they put in these vaccines. We don't know. There's no proven test that it works 100%. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. People are still ending up in the hospital, but they're running around saying, oh, everybody get vaccinated. So, I mean, what's the point?
That's what I want to go back to point out something in this topic because the integrity of the police officers, I feel like was like really jacked up. I mean, bad, because the article says they were not required. They weren't required to get vaccinated. So, but in order to be out in public without a mask, they had to get vaccinated. So they made
so that changes the narrative a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it does. They made the decision to be underhanded, dishonest, devious, you know what I'm saying, when they didn't have to.
Because they know.
I think that they know that it's coming, though. So maybe they just felt like
know they can come to Baltimore and get a job because we need police officers. So they doing what they want to do.
We live in a capitalist society. We live in a society where people that are in charge abuse their power. That's nothing new.
Absolutely.
But imagine if they have people coming in and out the police station, or they have people they have to deal with, or when the police are dealing with those people, they're in their face. And if they, the lie about them not having it, them having it, and they didn't have it, then you got the nerve to sell something and you are making a profit.
Oh yeah, that was real bootleg. You might as well have just gave it to them if you.
I don't really think it was about COVID. I don't even think it was about COVID. I think they said we're gonna make a little more cheddar and make it better. I think that's all they did.
Yes.
They were deceitful, and then they need to go to jail.
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry, Sister Victoria. I don't want them in Baltimore. I'm sorry. I'd rather have my mother go out there. I'd rather have my mother and my granddaughter police.
Well, on that note, we do kind of have like enough corruption kind of going on in the Baltimore Police Department.
Baltimore's already,
they might can stay where they are.
Baltimore. There's some jacked up stuff. We love Baltimore, but there's some jacked up stuff.
Let me, because we got a couple comments.
I know we got some comments on this one.
We got a couple comments. I'm gonna get to Tia first, and then I'm gonna go back up to Shay. Tia said, I basically got the vaccine under duress, but honestly, I feel a lot better in public now that I am vaccinated. I had and still have my doubts with the vaccine because it's new and there is not another vaccine using the same science behind this COVID vaccine. It shouldn't be forced on anybody though, but I get why they are making it mandatory in most states. 5 million have died from it. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. I need to get to Shay. Shay had some very Shay had some comments that I want to share. Go back up producer, because Shay had some comments that I really wanted to get in there. So Shay said, but if they don't vaccinate, it's a liability to companies, but it is a choice. Either you get vaccinated or you go find another job. Then she says, we're not thinking about how much money companies are spending in insurance, finding a replacement, or etc. And so I see where Shay is going with that, because if for those who don't get vaccinated or whatever, and they do get, if they get infected or what have you, people are getting really sick from this virus. And I can only imagine how much the, insurance companies, let me just say this, because, having, worked with insurance companies in the past, I don't feel no mercy for them. I'm just putting that out there. I feel no mercy for them, all right? But I can only imagine, what the hospital bills are looking like and what insurance companies are putting out. But I do agree that it is a choice. And I'm not one to tell anybody, oh, you should get vaccinated. Because listen, I didn't get vaccinated until I was ready, until I was comfortable, until, God whispered in my ear that it was safe for me to get vaccinated. And so it doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about it. For me and mine, you know what I'm saying? I'm good.
And before we move on, vaccinated or not, I'm wearing a mask.
I was gonna say before we move on, I gotta put my little 1 cent back in there and saying, I still don't. I mean, I can respectfully disagree with part of that, because it's not that easy for some people, to just go out and get another job. I have, a family member making 6 figures and good money, and it's like, okay, it's not like this person can just not get the vaccine and go work at Walmart. I'm just saying. So yes, it's an option, and that's not to say anything bad about anybody that works for Walmart, because Lord knows they pay well nowadays. Okay. But I'm just saying, when you're used to earning a certain amount of income, and you have your bills and you have your family to take care of and stuff like that, saying that they have an option to get another job, it's really kind of not, that simple for everybody. And I don't care about no insurance companies. I'm just saying, y'all, I don't work for insurance companies, not to say that, but like you said, I don't have no mercy on no insurance companies, because they out here.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, Key, but I feel as though you have a choice in everything. You really do have a choice. But the choice is this. Listen, either if you want to keep your job and live the lifestyle that you're living and be able to support your family and to do what it is that you are accustomed to doing, and you want to stay there, then your option is get the vaccine. If that's what your job is requiring. But if you are just dead set against it, I'm not taking it, I don't want to take it. So then your next choice, your next option is to go get another job. And so no matter, how we look at it, you got a choice.
Yep.
You really do have a choice. It's when you weigh your options, what means more to you, what makes more sense, what is it that.
All right, so we gonna move right along on that one, because I still say I use the word duress, and I'm glad that Tia threw it back, because that's what it is to me. I feel like you might as well. It's forceful. That's how I feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we running low on time. We running low on time, so I'm gonna get to this next topic, because it's on the same street. I don't even know if I want to touch this one, because y'all done got me fired up over the last one. Let me see. Wait a minute. Topic 5. What parents need to know about the COVID vaccine for children ages 5 to 11? A huge swathe of young people in the US, roughly 28 million children ages 5 to 11, are now eligible to receive the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, and millions of parents are understandably following this development closely. According to the CDC, although children are less likely to get severely ill from COVID, 1.9 million kids between those ages have been infected. Those infections resulted in 8,300 hospitalizations and nearly 100 deaths within this age group. So distribution of Pfizer's COVID-19 pediatric vaccine will scale up to full capacity starting on Monday, according to the CDC. Now, this is the part that I want you guys to pay attention to. The common side effects for the vaccine in kids 5 to 11 mirror the same side effects in adults, in the sense that they can get redness, pain, and swelling at the injection sites. The clinical trials for 5 to 11-year-olds were small enough that we couldn't detect a safety signal. In other words, parents and caregivers are understandably worried about the potential for myocarditis, which is inflammation of the heart muscle related to the vaccine, but the trial did not show that safety signal. That's not to say that myocarditis couldn't exist or can't happen, and that we won't see that more and more as more children get vaccinated. That can happen as a result of viruses, including COVID-19. There's a rare but real potential for vaccine-related myocarditis, particularly in young men and teenage boys. Excuse me, but again, the risk of COVID-19 on the heart is greater than the potential risk for myocarditis in this population. So we want to know, what are your thoughts on this rushed? It doesn't say that, I'm saying that. What are your thoughts on this? Is it too soon? Do you plan to get your child vaccinated? Grandchild, niece, nephew, somebody in your care that you're responsible for making decisions for? I'm not going to answer this. I'll answer it if we have time, but y'all should already know my answer.
I'll answer it. And listen, I'm saying no. As a grandmother, I just feel like for me, and you know, my children may feel differently, but they ultimately have the decision to make. It's theirs to make. But I feel like right out the gate, it's too early. For me, I feel like it's too early. Not enough, you know, and I didn't jump right when, you know, vaccines for adults was released. For me and for Phil, no, I didn't jump right then. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's kind of early, and I don't, yeah.
Well, my grandchildren are over 12 years old, and they had their vaccination. And I talked to them about it. That's the one time I did talk to them about it, and I told them the positive and the negative. We did the reading, and they have programs about it on TV all day, everything that comes up. And they said, Grandma, I want it. And the other one said, I want it. And she said, if anybody in my class, I find out they don't want to take it or they won't have it, they can keep on their mask, but I don't even want them sitting near me. And she's 12. And that was just her take. And the grandson was like, I don't want anything, I think, you know, but he was older. I know these are for the younger parents of the younger kids. I would be a little, as the kids say, sus. I'd be a little suspect about it, not knowing it, because it hasn't been like a generation before. And just like with when you take them to get their for measles or chickenpox or other things, it was generations and generations of it being proven to be effective, and to have the small amount, not, you know, minor side effects. So I could understand that. I would wait a little while and just keep them away, you know, but they're going to school with other people, even from like daycare. You know, you have daycare, you may have 6 to 8 kids in the daycare, and they use the average age of the kid in the daycare is maybe 2 years old. So if that child that say didn't have the vaccine and say they infected other kids, all the kids didn't have, and they all affected each other, they would have to close the place down. And I think wait 14 days. I don't think they're still doing that now. But they would have to wait that time, and somebody may lose money at a job. They have to stay home with their children. So that's one way. That's those ideas that I would be thinking of if it was my child under the age of 11 or between 2 and 11. I'd be very concerned, seriously concerned.
Mhm. I agree.
So y'all want to say it's okay. Look, I'm putting on my petty hat. So y'all want to say it's okay for, the adults to have choices to get it or not, but y'all want to protect, and I'm all about protecting the babies because y'all should not know I'm not for it because, and that's not to say never. I'm not saying never for them. I'm not saying never for me. I'm just saying that it's still too new. Even that's just my personal opinion. It's still
I understand
too new for the adults,
I understand.
By me seeing these numbers, and numbers don't lie, so I'm not blasting nobody, but I'm just saying I know people personally, multiple people who have gotten the vaccine and are still wound up on respirators, getting ready to die. So their whole point of it's the symptoms are not going to be worse and all of that stuff. I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate because I think that because there are still mask mandates, it's helping a tremendous deal. And I get the fact, we can't, people don't want to wear masks forever. I'm vaccinated or vaccinated. I'm going to have my mask on, especially during cold and flu season, probably until I'm no longer here, because I don't want it. When you see the number of people who not only didn't catch COVID, but didn't get the flu or regular colds or these viruses and stuff, with the mask on, it's just,
Okay.
But I think it's too soon. I think they're rushing it because, I just think it's a little rushed for them.
And again, I feel like the choices for the children lie again with the parents. With the parents. And I really, like I said, I didn't jump, when it first came out for my own personal self. And I wouldn't say jump for, the children. I really think that there needs to be a little bit more, research and the crazy thing with that is in the research that how did they do the research? They tested it on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I get that, and I don't mean to sound, cold or anything, but I don't want my grandbabies to be the test monkeys.
Okay. Now, I hear you. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't, and then it's the thing of, as African Americans, our system act and react and do things a little bit differently than others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe that.
What may be good for some others may not necessarily work the same for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but I just really feel as though it may be, a little soon. But I pray for anybody that, that does have their child vaccinated. Pray over your children.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I was going to say
absolutely.
Thank you.
Pray over your children. Anoint
them. Give them their vitamins. Feed them well. Let them get their rest. Build up their immune system. It's things that we can do as parents too.
Yes. And I know Shay is just on, as a guest tonight, but we talked about this before on one of the Fit for Life, about your vitamins and your immune system and doing what you need to build yourself up. Listen, we around here popping them, okay? Drinking vitamin C, elderberry, echinacea,
juicing.
Okay, doing what we gotta do, and praise God, we have been good. Even just like the common cold, we've been good. I thank God. I'm not knocking on the wood. I'm thanking God for that. But, you have to take the time to do what you need to do for yourself and for your family. And to keep you healthy in this season. And listen, it's okay to stay away from some folks.
Amen.
It's okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna get us in trouble for this or not, but I'm just realizing we put kind of like a lot of heavy stuff. We barely got halfway through the topics tonight. But can we go out on what was the good thing that the too soon for Christmas decorations? Is that on there?
Gone.
Yeah.
All right,
Have that.
so real quick, and I don't even have my notes up in front of me, but
Oh my gosh, we didn't talk about the pastor's heart to stop.
I know we ran.
Okay,
Let's
go
save
ahead.
that for next month because
Yes.
that's something that is not time to. We gonna save that.
Okay.
I got you. So, all right, y'all. Well, because time is winding down, I'm not even gonna look back through my notes to try to find it. But the question is, how soon is too soon to decorate for Christmas, y'all? Because inquiring minds want to know because y'all sister be over here getting a hard time. So, I mean, this dude would have us like throwing the tree up like the week before and taking it down the week after. I don't know. Growing up, I used to put it like Black Friday. I used to put it up, and now I'm finding myself wanting to put it up a little bit sooner. So, like, what do y'all say?
Well, for me, I got to. My things got to be separated. So I feel like, because I decorate for every season. Like I'm like, I love it. But I need Christmas. I need Thanksgiving and fall to be Thanksgiving and fall. You know what I'm saying? And then when I can get with it after Black Friday, because now Thanksgiving has come and Thanksgiving is gone. But I'm not putting up Christmas decoration before Black Friday. I'm just not doing it.
I just had to throw it out there because I'm cracking up.
So then how soon do you take them down?
I don't take my stuff my stuff got to burn all the way until January 1st. And if I'm not hanging out with my sister for her birthday.
In the rain, sleet, hail, and
yeah. Well, I used to be really.
I hear you, Pastor.
I used to really be into the Christmas decorations, and I would do them really about the second week in December. That's usually when I would do it, and I would always usually have a wreath or something on my door. And this year, I don't know. I don't know if it's that little effect from the COVID, and us can't really be free to move around, have people over and visit, and like you said, you have the people who are vaccinated and the people who are not. But getting back to the whole decoration thing, I'm like, Thanksgiving, they have decorations and people are having Thanksgiving, okay, and Christmas. I believe you should have those something, and I think it should be something to exalt Christ, because it's supposed to be about his birthday.
Yes.
You can have the kids make little cupcake wrappers and the little tissue paper and a little thing. I used to be in education, so we did all kinds of stuff and put cupcakes on there. And this Christmas cards, Happy Birthday, Jesus. Mm-hmm. But we spend all this time on decorating, and we need to teach our children to have people around us understand it's about something a whole lot bigger. And when I do get to, I don't decorate for Christmas, because after Christmas they go on sale. Then I get my decorations. All them expensive decoration and Christmas cards, I get them when they go on sale. They'll be the next day, half price.
And what's funny?
I know. Y'all gotta pray for me.
I'm not trying to put them up now, at the beginning of the month, but I'm just saying Christmas is my favorite holiday. We all know that Jesus is the reason for the season and we celebrate him. But I also just everything about, Christmas, the pine and the pretty decorations, the music, the Christmas scented candle, like the fur, just all of it. So that's why I be getting excited. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind cooking all that good Thanksgiving food with my Christmas music on. Where he at? He probably not on tonight on purpose.
But look,
I could be petty.
Because I love the Christmas movies. I love
the movies. Oh, Hallmark.
Forget the movies.
Forget it. YouTube all year round. I love it all year round.
Listen, Hallmark don't play. They start in November.
All year round. I love Christmas. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. I have the Christmas music. My son, when he was bringing his friends over, when he was like about 13, say, what's wrong with your mother? He said, what you mean what's wrong with my mother? It's like April and she got on Christmas music, and then I don't want to say nothing, but the last time I came, she had Christmas music on too. And I think it was Valentine's Day. Something wrong with your mother? I said, no, I like Christmas. Do you want to eat this food? I'm sorry, Miss Stevens.
She said April.
Yeah, I have it all year round. And one day in the
Listen,
summer.
we had a girlfriend we had our Christmas tree up all year round. I'm like,
I know.
Oh, girl.
You had to, yeah.
Wow.
But you know what? That is that's a thing too, because I saw it on like the home living, one of the things. Some people leave their tree up and they just decorate their tree for the different
For whatever
Valentine's,
season
St.
or
Patrick's
birthday
Day,
or holiday.
4th of July. They do the tree. I think that's a little bit. Look, I'm all for decorating, but trying to decorate for every holiday, I'll be tired. I can't.
Oh, yo, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Do y'all celebrate Kwanzaa? Think about celebrating Kwanzaa?
I don't celebrate, but I have educated myself on it. I think it's quite interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we got a holiday. And it's not, a lot of people think it's Christmas. Nothing can ever replace Christmas. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
But to say there's certain principles that if we like weave it into our society, even for people who aren't from the diaspora, still weave it into society as a point of understanding someone else. And the principles are good. It's just in another language.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because I took a note, and we're going to incorporate something when we get closer to that time in the show about Kwanzaa.
Yes. All right, ladies. Well, we have truly ended on a good note.
Yes.
Thank you, King. That was awesome. That was so awesome. And so we are at the top of our hour. I have already gotten the gang signs. Y'all know. I already got the signage from our producer. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined in tonight. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your viewership. We just so enjoy Hot Topics, and we love having our special guest, Mama Sugar. My Mama Sugar. I love having Miss Victoria Green, and Sister Harriet. So we just thank both of you ladies for joining us tonight. And that is this segment of Victory Talk, and we look forward to having you guys join us again next week for another wonderful edition of Victory Talk. We will see you next Friday at 7
All right.
p.m.
Victory. Yes.
Have a good night, everybody.
Y'all too. God bless.
Good night,
God bless.